Welcome to Business Decoded, where we break down how companies really make money. Let's decode today's business model. Google invented modern AI. They created the transformer architecture in 2017. The paper, "Attention is all that you need," revolutionized AI. Every model today, GPT, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all built on Google's invention. Yet OpenAI commercialized it first and Google almost lost everything to a startup. The irony is devastating. Google had the technology, the talent, the data, and the compute. They invented transformers. They had DeepMind and Google Brain, the best AI research teams in the world. Thousands of researchers, unlimited budget, yet a startup with a fraction of Google's resources launched ChatGPT and won the AI race while Google watched. By the end of this video, you'll understand how Google invented AI but failed to commercialize it, why they're now scrambling to catch OpenAI, whether corporate culture killed their advantage, and if Google can reclaim their lead or if they've already lost permanently. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only, not business or investment advice. Company references are from public sources for educational commentary. Trademarks belong to their owners. Consult qualified professionals before making business decisions. Here's how Google almost lost AI. Google Research published, "Attention is all that you need," in June 2017. 8 Google researchers invented the transformer architecture. This architecture became the foundation for every large language model since. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Google invented transformers. OpenAI used Google's invention to build ChatGPT. Then ChatGPT threatened Google's search monopoly. Google created the technology that might destroy their core business. Why didn't Google launch ChatGPT first? Because Google was afraid of cannibalizing their own business. Search generates $250 billion in annual revenue. 80% of Google's profit comes from search ads. Anything that cannibalizes search threatens the entire company's financial foundation. AI search is fundamentally worse for Google's business model than traditional search. Traditional search shows 10 blue links plus ads at the top and side. Users click ads to find answers. Google makes money on every click. Cost per click ranges from $1 to $50 depending on keywords. AI search gives direct answers in one response. No ads shown, no clicks generated, no revenue. User gets answer and leaves. Google makes $0. This is why Google sat on the technology for years despite having it ready. Google knew this trade-off intimately. They had the technology to build ChatGPT years before OpenAI. Internal teams built conversational AI models. Showed them to leadership. Leadership said no to launch. Too risky to search revenue. So the technology sat in research labs while OpenAI moved forward. OpenAI had no search business to protect. They could innovate freely. ChatGPT launched November 2022. 100 million users in 2 months. Suddenly everyone questioned why they needed Google search when ChatGPT answered questions directly. Google panicked after ChatGPT's success. They issued a code red internally in December 2022. Sundar Pichai, Google's CEO, called for all hands on deck. Every team redirected to AI. Executives canceled vacations. Engineers pulled from other projects. The urgency was extreme. Google rushed out Bard, their ChatGPT competitor, in February 2023. Just 3 months after ChatGPT launched. Normally Google takes years to launch products. This time they moved at startup speed. But speed created problems. Bard launched poorly. In the public demo, Bard gave a factually wrong answer about the James Webb Space Telescope. The error was obvious. Journalists noticed immediately. Google's stock dropped 9% in one day, losing $100 billion in market cap from one wrong demo answer. This was embarrassing for the company that invented the underlying technology. Google looked incompetent. How could the inventors of transformers launch an inferior product to a startup? The cultural dysfunction became obvious to everyone watching. Google's problem was cultural. They had the tech but the incentive structure discouraged disruption. Engineers knew AI chat could replace search but nobody wanted to be responsible for killing $250 billion in revenue. Safer to work on incremental improvements than revolutionary changes. OpenAI didn't have this constraint. They needed to create value from scratch. Disruption was the point. This asymmetry let OpenAI move faster than Google despite fewer resources. Google's advantages are still massive. They have more data than anyone. Gmail, YouTube, Search, Maps, Android. Billions of users generating training data daily. More compute than anyone. Google built TPUs specifically for AI. More researchers than anyone. DeepMind alone has hundreds of the world's top AI scientists. Google launched Gemini in late 2023. Multimodal model handling text, images, video, audio. Technically impressive. Benchmarks showed Gemini matching or exceeding GPT-4 on many tasks. But the market didn't care. ChatGPT had network effects. Everyone already used it. Switching to Gemini meant changing habits. Gemini was better on paper but not 10 times better. Incremental superiority doesn't drive switching. Google's integration advantage is real. AI in search reaches billions daily. AI in Gmail helps millions write emails. AI in Workspace helps enterprises work. AI in Android helps phone users. Distribution matters as much as model quality. Google also has the cash to outlast anyone. 300 billion revenue, 90 billion net income. They can fund AI development indefinitely. OpenAI burns billions. Anthropic burns billions. Google can outspend everyone and wait for the market to mature. The strategic question is whether Google can win by integrating AI into existing products or if AI chat becomes a new category that bypasses search entirely. If search survives as the primary interface, Google wins. If chat replaces search, Google's moat shrinks dramatically. Early data suggests search isn't dying yet. Google search volume stayed flat or grew slightly after ChatGPT launched. People use ChatGPT for certain queries and Google for others. Conversational questions go to ChatGPT. Shopping searches, local searches, quick facts still go to Google. They're complementary for now, not direct substitutes. But the long-term trend worries Google leadership. Younger users, particularly Gen Z, increasingly prefer ChatGPT-style interfaces for information needs. They ask questions conversationally rather than typing keywords. As AI chat improves and becomes more reliable, more queries will shift away from traditional search. Even if it's only 10% of searches eventually, that's $25 billion in annual lost revenue for Google. At current profit margins, that's $15 to $20 billion in lost profit. This is why Google takes the threat seriously despite search volume staying stable currently. Google's response is AI overviews in search. Instead of 10 blue links, Google shows AI-generated summaries at the top. This combines search and chat. Users get direct answers but still see ads below. This approach could work. Google keeps users in their ecosystem while providing AI answers. But it also reduces ad clicks. If users get answers from AI summaries, they don't click links. Fewer clicks means less revenue. The paradox is Google must cannibalize search with AI to avoid being disrupted by competitors. Safer for Google to reduce search revenue by 20% internally than lose 50% to OpenAI and Microsoft. Google is also betting on AI making new revenue streams possible. AI coding assistants, AI productivity tools, AI healthcare diagnostics. If these markets are big enough, they offset search revenue decline. The existential threat isn't that search disappears overnight. It's that search becomes less valuable over time. Ad rates decline as AI answers more queries. Google's margins compress. Growth slows. The company becomes less profitable. For Google, the stakes are survival. They invented AI. They have every advantage. But advantages don't guarantee success. They need to execute, build better models, integrate seamlessly, maintain user trust. If they fail, a technology they invented destroys their business. Google invented transformers in 2017. The architecture behind all modern AI. Yet OpenAI launched ChatGPT first and threatened Google's search monopoly. Google sat on technology because AI search cannibalizes $250 billion search revenue. OpenAI had no revenue to protect, so moved faster. Google panicked, launched Bard poorly, lost $100 billion market cap in one day. Advantages are massive. More data, more compute, more researchers. Gemini technically competitive with GPT-4 but network effects favor ChatGPT. Google must cannibalize search with AI internally or lose to competitors externally. Either integrates AI successfully and survives or search value declines over time. And that's how they built it. If this helped you understand business better, subscribe for weekly deep dives into the world's most successful companies. Thanks for watching.